Welcome first years for your next prose lesson, spoken English and broken English. Spoken English, sometimes the broken English also. So here George Bernard Shaw, the writer, has given a very you can say a nice way of understanding how the people speak and how the people has made it one of the ghost to speak English correctly, and what is the ideal type of English and how can we judge the correct English. So here he has written such a very nice lesson which you, if you can understand, you will never feel hesitant to speak. Here the introduction, let us go ahead with that. George Bernard Shaw, one of the very famous British writer, and he is very well known among the English writers, especially after the Shakespeare. As Shakespeare's name is very famous or known among the English literature, or you can say among the writers of English, in the same way George Bernard Shaw also being very popular for his writings. He was born in Dublin. His date of birth was year is 1856, and in 1950 he died. And he has, you can say, certain characteristics in him that made him so much popular. Even like you can say, in the writing he was next to Shakespeare, but he was a very good speaker. He speaks in public. So he was a powerful public speaker. For the powerful public speaker, what do we need? Do we need a good language? Do we need selection of the words should be proper? The main thing for the public speaker, or if you want to become a powerful public speaker, you know how to touch the heart of the people. That is more important. You must have heard in your history lessons during your 10th classes about Hitler. Hitler was known for damaging the world's not only economy, but he was being responsible for the Second World War and all. People never remember him in a good way, but nobody can deny the fact that Hitler was one of the powerful public speaker. He was a very good orator. These we can use this for them. We can use one word as orator. Oration skills. They speak very well. Again, I am saying that speaking well doesn't mean that your language should be proper, your grammatical mistakes should not be done, you would have used the difficult vocabulary. No, it is not like that. It should be according to the mindset of the people, and it should touch the heart of the people. So he was also, George Bernard Shaw was also a very good public speaker. He was very powerful. Whatever he says, people listen to him with concentration and they just wanted to follow whatever he said. The next is he was a very good critic. That means whenever any writings or any things would be there, if any policies would be there, he definitely give what is right and what is wrong. Critics are not only who takes out the negative points. They are the ones who judge, who never take any part into, they are impartial. They are not partial. They helping one of the side and just inclining towards the other one. They are not like that. They just judge it out in a correct manner. What are the positive points and what are the negative points? They discuss it out. That's why they are known as the critic. So he was a very good critic. He was a very good commentator. He comments on the things, and whenever there is a need of his words, people call him for commentary. Then he was a dramatist. He organized dramas, he write dramas, he make the people play dramas. Then he was a playwright. Dramas and plays a little bit different. Play can be performed at one place and in one session only it has to be completed. So playwright, as well as he was a very good essayist. That means he write down essays on various topics. So obviously after reading this you can get an idea that he was not an ordinary person. The next is he always believed in giving unconventional turn of mind. What we thought, we make it as a tradition. No, if you are doing this, you have to do that. Like it is interconnected. You follow this one. If somebody wants to do some job, there are certain qualifications required, and people had in mind that is the ideal, and everybody has to fit into that ideal. He changed the mentality of the people by saying something which is unusual, which is unconventional. Distrust of accepted institutions, the same thing. Unconventional turn of mind, distrust of accepted institutions. Like for example, I'll give it to you here. Like if anybody from just take from our India, anyone who belongs to like village, for the first time he came to the city and he is speaking the language. I'm not talking about English. They are speaking their own language. And being the people who are born and raised up in city, we had a certain criteria that we immediately blame the person, we immediately pinpoint the person. What they are speaking the language which is used in villages. We start making fun, we start mocking at the other person, because we have, you can say, accepted institution. We have one frame. We want that type of the language to be used by the other person. Otherwise, we simply discard them to accept. We never accept that people, because we had a feeling they are not from our place. They are from the other place. That's why they are speaking that type of the language. This is the quality every human being have, and he has changed this in this particular lesson, spoken English and broken English. And it has lot of wit and humor. Wit related to witty ones, witty remarks, and immediate spontaneously making the other person speechless, and humorous giving a touch of the comedy, giving a touch of the farce, that is the humor. So wit and humor was always there in his writings. Now let us start this spoken English and broken English. Actually it is one of the before if you want to just now I have taken the example of the village person, like that if you want to learn a foreign language, for example take English only. Now English is an international language, it's not a foreign one, but still it has not taken birth in India, so we can call it as a foreign language. It's a foreign language. We want to learn this language, we want to read, write and speak like that of the native speakers. Native speakers means the British, the Americans or the Australians. You want to speak like them. But do all the native ones speak in the same way? No, he has given that. Englishmen, Australians or Americans, they never speak in a same English. They never speak in a same accent. Nobody can speak in the same accent. Everybody has a different accent, different way of speaking. Just now the example being given, like do we speak Telugu or Hindi or Urdu in the same way? Everybody can speak? No. Just take the example of Urdu in Hyderabad. Our Urdu in Hyderabad, how do we speak Urdu in Hyderabad is not actual real Urdu, if we believe so. Because if you go to north side, go for Punjab, Haryana, Lucknow, Hindi, Delhi also, Delhi people can speak Hindi well. Hindi and Urdu, it's actually a mixture. We use both the languages together. So Hindi, Urdu, how they speak and how we speak. We means I am talking about Hyderabadis. We have a different dialect. Dialect means only the spoken way. We cannot write down our language. For that I have lots of example in my mind. Like simple take the word no. How do we speak and how do they speak? We, like in Hindi, in Urdu, actual Urdu, it should be nahi. How do we say? You know very well. We speak it as nai. Can we write down nai? It only a spoken language. That spoken language which does not have any script to write down is known as the dialect. So our way of speaking is different. If you go to the Mumbai side, they speak in a different dialect. It cannot be written down. If you want to write down nai, you have to use Roman English, you have to use Hindi, you have to use Urdu, but there is no separate language script for writing our spoken language. Are you getting? That is known as the dialect. So, Telugu also. It is being said that the persons, those who are belonging to Andhra side can speak better Telugu, or they have a refined Telugu when compared to Telangana side. In Telangana language, Telugu, we have some slang expressions, local expressions what we use, and there is nothing wrong into that. It is our habit, we speak. So why do we want English also to be spoken like the native speakers? Why can't we speak our own English? Our own English doesn't mean that you have to insert your Urdu, Hindi, Telugu words in between. It doesn't mean that. It means that whatever you are speaking, keep your own accent, keep your own way of speaking rather than following the foreigners, because their spoken language, their written language is something very much different. Right now, if I can say, all the youngsters, they are using WhatsApp nahi. I'm talking about WhatsApp, what's going on. So WhatsApp, when they are saying wanna go home, want to go home, it is being changed to wanna go. Wanna is, you wanted to say it as a short form for want to. That is actually the native speakers. They use that type of the expressions. We normally don't use. We speak complete English. So there is no need for us to get a fear that what we are speaking and getting a feeling like we are not speaking proper English. No. That English is also proper. That English, this English, all are proper. We cannot judge that this is wrong, this is correct, this is ideal, this is superficial. We cannot say that. The way of speaking is different. But we are not changing the rules of English language. The grammar and all should be added as it is. But the way we speak could be different, because here, like these Englishmen, Australia or Australians or Americans, they too never speak properly in their same accent. Everybody has a different accent. So how can we speak like them? And where is the need to? By to change ourselves, whatever we are, let us be continue. It is actually one of the speech. This whole lesson is not written like that. It is a speech given by George Bernard Shaw on gramophone in the year 1927. Gramophone, I hope you have seen in the some of the ads they are giving. If not, Google is there, go and find out how gramophone looks like. So previously people had the gramophones. So that time they have given a live speech of George Bernard Shaw on spoken English and broken English, and whatever he has given, it was very clear for the people to understand that don't copy the others. English is a language. You can speak in your accent, let them speak in their own accent. Don't copy, don't imitate others. No, like he is saying that you cannot say that ideal English or correct English never appears. Nobody can give you a judgment that this is the way to speak, this is not the way to speak. Because even he is saying that no to British men, no to British men, that means UK. The origin of English language from the British only. The Britishers believe it is not their belief, it is the fact that English originally belongs to UK, England, British. So even he is saying that no two British people can speak the same way. They have a different way. They could not speak alike. One's accent will not match up with the other's accent. So there is no need for the fear of that, and in the whole lesson he has given us an idea how to not to judge the people by what they are speaking, and how to feel confident for what you are speaking. I'm again saying that we are not changing the rules of English language. The grammatical rules should be followed in formation of the sentences, that is right. But the accent, the way you speak can be different. Don't try to speak like the native speakers by twisting your tongue, by just taking so much hard work, by involving yourself into such a difficult task of speaking like the native speakers. It is not possible. Have you ever seen any of the Englishmen speaking Hindi in our accent? No. And we find that cute, that it is very cute how nicely they are speaking. They are trying to speak in Hindi. So why don't we find ourselves cute while we speak English in our own way? So have confidence in yourself. In the next class, we'll try to continue our this particular prose lesson, spoken English and broken English. By the time, take care. Have a nice day.